All right, today we're gonna look at the new 2024 Vexus VX21. This is our boat that we use to film all the stuff on. We go fishing a lot to, learn new products, learn new techniques, and obviously just have fun. So we did a boat earlier where we kind of reveal what we had. This one, I'm gonna focus more on what we have in the boat, and we can walk through and look at some of the stuff we have in the boxes and how I pack things up and whatnot. But yeah, let's look at some of the electronics that we're using. For a trolling motor, we went with Power Pole Move. Number one reason why Power Pole has probably the best customer service out of everybody. And I had already used the other two, like I've used the Garmin Force and I've used the Minn Kotas. I sell all of them, so I like to get familiar with all the products that we sell. This one was really interesting to me just because all the added features in the software. I really like about this one so far how light it is. It's very quiet and it's very responsive. It's a very powerful motor. So there's also some cool stuff you can do in the software. Like if you're fishing if you're doing a lot of live scoping, you can actually, there's a beam built into the software now that you can kind of have it slow down so you're more precise. It's pretty cool. I haven't really spent a lot of time doing that yet, but cool feature to have. Then up here, right now we have the double live scope set up on the Fish Obsessed mounts. The Fish Obsessed mounts are basically just to manipulate that cone angle a little bit better. Generally, they're not both in forward. We were doing some walleye fishing a little bit deep last week, so they're set up in forward right now, but it's as easy as just a click, and then you have your one in perspective. I like these mounts. We don't sell them or anything like that, but they work for their purpose. Dual live scope. Biggest reason is that perspective. I love 360. I miss it still. I figured it was time for me to give this new perspective mount a try. I do love it so far, but I definitely need to spend a little bit more time on it. For graphs, this is the one that is a little bit weird. So I'm running all GPS maps, and yes, the resolution is a little bit higher, it's a little bit clearer, whatever. The main reason we run it is so that we can screen record. So these have a built-in HDMI in and HDMI out. With these, we can actually record exactly what's going on the screen, so we can break things down for you guys a little bit better. Why do I have 5 of them? Well, I have one for each transducer, and then I also have one that's just directly mapped. The problem is with the GPS maps is they don't talk with the eco maps. I couldn't just get one to record stuff with and then all the other eco maps, nothing would have talked together. I had to commit to all GPS maps. I like them a lot. They're amazing units. A little overkill for sure. If you're just doing a full boat, probably just get eco maps. It makes the most sense, but amazing units nonetheless. There's a couple cool features with them. Like with the boot up screen, as you can see here, you can kind of set your own logo, which is really cool. Another cool feature is that screen recording. So as you can see here in my phone, I have all of the screens on my Active Captain showing exactly what's going on with every screen. This is something we're going to use to start overlaying the data to you guys so you guys can really understand what's going on with the mapping, what we're looking for on points, depths maybe things are in, how to set up the shading stuff. So all of this stuff that you're seeing here on the screen right now, this is why we're using these specifically. So yeah, that's the GPS maps. That's the story of them. They work for the purpose that we need them, and it's really important for us to be able to give you guys this information. Next up, we have the 24XD GPS pucks. So these are gonna help us have it's a better heading sensor. It's also gonna help us with waypoint management. I have one here at the front of the boat, and then I have this one here at the back of the boat. Basically, when I drop a waypoint up front, it's gonna ping off this one, so it's gonna be super accurate to where I am. And if I drop one while I'm at the console, it's gonna drop one pretty close to the console, so I kinda know exactly where my GPS waypoints are. Waypoint management is ultra important, especially if you're trying to take things seriously. If you're not accurate with it, you can easily blow out your spot like that. So definitely getting either these 24XDs, like I said, or the SteadyCast is really important to have on your boat, just for that little bit of extra accuracy in your waypoint management. Here on the deck, you see that I have my power pole switches. This is something that I actually thought I would hate, but it turns out that I love. I thought it'd be a little Dance Revolution on the deck with all the, the up and down switch, and then now having to have a north up switch and a spot lock switch. But it's probably the coolest part, or my favorite part anyways, about having this trolling motor. I like that this is just up on the deck. I'm not knocking into it. And the other cool thing about the power pull is actually you can touch the pedal without taking out a spot lock. You actually need to engage the power on it for it to come at a spot lock. And I like that because sometimes you'll hit the pedal and you won't even realize that you'll drift off. With this one, you don't have to. And then on the other side here that you can see, I have the screen for the power pull move. So this is gonna give you make sure everything's connected. It's gonna tell you if you're on spot lock. It's gonna tell you your speed, all the information you need to know on this little screen, which I thought was pretty cool as well. You guys will see that we're gonna start doing a ton of videos on the water. Ashy's obviously our ace cameraman, so he's gonna be running all of the normal high quality stuff, but sometimes he's not able to come, or maybe I want my friend to fish with me. We're gonna be running these, what is it, DGI Action Cams. So we have one set up here. We actually switched out the cigarette lighter in here for a USB-C charger. It works amazingly. This will have power all day. And then we have this one set up here in TikTok view, I call it. This is vertical, so it works on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, stuff like that. And then we are gonna have another one on a mount that's gonna come out of the second seat holder. That's our camera setup. So here at the console, this is how we have things set up. You can see on the screen that I have my whole power pull charge setup on the screen. So I can see exactly what my batteries are doing. I can actually set the priority of the charge just by pushing these buttons. It's a really, really cool feature and it's easy to put in. It's this little part called a Power Pull Sea Monster 2 Gateway. It's a little red thing, plugs in with orange thing. Power Pull orange. It's gonna connect to all your graphs and it's gonna give you data from your power pull move. And it's also gonna give you controls, which are on this screen here, to put your power pulls down just like that without having to have switches and everything everywhere. You're still probably gonna have stomp switches because if you're fighting a fish, you don't wanna be leaning down and touching your screen, but it's really convenient when you're driving and you don't have to drill a bunch of holes and have, switches all over the place. They can be on every single graph if you have everything NEMA'd in together. So that's a cool way. The cool thing about this boat is the air ride seats. So I'm a heavier guy, and then I also have lighter friends like Ashton who weighs 113 pounds. You can adjust these seats to basically fit your weight, and it'll absorb a lot of the shock that when you're hitting, you're on a rough day, it'll absorb a lot of the shock of that. It's a really cool thing. It basically has this little bike pump. You pop it in, you pump it up, you have a much comfier ride. Same with these handles, obviously something to grab on. You can see here in the passenger side, this other little strap, so that's really cool. On the back here, we have Merc 250 Pro XS. I love it, sounds cool. That's probably the biggest reason. The Yamahas are cool too, but this one sounds badass. I have a Bob's Action jack plate. Works good, works how it should, I think. So that's pretty cool. It's the first time I ran Atlas my whole life, but I like the Bobs so far. Yeah, another thing we obviously had to have on this boat are shallow water anchors with power pull blades. I think for the next boat, we're gonna go with one blade, obviously one pump, a little bit less weight, a little bit less complications with two. So that'll be pretty cool. The other thing about the Vexus that I really like is they have these built-in plates. Sometimes it's a little bit tough to find the plates in stock, especially up here. PowerPull does an amazing job with their plate wizard, but it's nice to just have these built in, be able to bolt them on. That's really awesome. And then back here on the motor, we have the DD26 steer stops. So these just sit here and make sure the motor doesn't go side to side. And then we're also using the DD26 motor tote. Really cool product. Helps your motor just have a little bit of support when you're running on the road. And put it down. We also sell the DD26 stuff, so if you need a motor tote, we have those in stock as well. Okay, so the main purpose of us doing this is obviously to show you guys that we also rig boats, we sell electronics, and this is something that we really spend a lot of time in understanding. If you look in the back of this boat, this is how boats should look. I have 5 Reliant batteries. I have 2 for all my cranking and all my electronics, and then I have a 3 trolling motor setup. I like to have the 3 just because if I lose one, that'll switch into 24 volt and I continue fishing. And then in the middle, I have my power pull charge. With it having that power management system and you being able to move power from your trolling motor batteries to your cranking or from your alternator to your trolling motor batteries, it's pretty cool. I have my pumps for my power pulls tucked away up back there. This side, I generally keep pretty clean. This is where all the boys put their stuff when they come fishing with me. So just an empty box for them. And then this side is like my accessories. I keep, my NOCO bump charger in here. I also keep, this is like a little bag this is actually an OSP bag. It's a dry bag. So I'll keep like a sweater in here. I'll keep buffs in here, gloves, stuff like that. Some things that I may never use for the whole year, but at least if I need it, I have it. Same with a sweater. I probably already said that. I got a sun shirt in here. There's lots of stuff. We have our little red bucket. I have my rain gear, and then I always carry a couple extra hats. If you've ever ridden on a boat, you lose hats no matter what. And this one right here, I don't go fishing without it. This is my lucky fishing hat. I have about 100 of them. I like my Dual Realis hats. This one right here, lucky. You have the console here. You have all your radio controls. These consoles are gigantic and deep. We fit so much stuff in there. This is the cooler. You see, we got some water in there from the last time we went out. I have a hot foot in this boat, and then we have this, I have this cool little accessory drawer. So this is where I keep my scale. And then I have this little box that I keep little random stuff, lip chap, a little extra charger, a wacky ring tool, you know, something to clean my glasses with, fizz kits. Okay, so this is my day box. It's pretty clean right now. I keep my line bag in here mostly. This is a Sunline model line bag, so we just keep the line in there. And then I have some jerkbait boxes in there. So that's my day box. And then this is my main box. I'm trying a new system. Basically, I got on the Busby system because I really like these bags because they're able to hold these like clamshell styles, and it fits in a 3700 size. It's my first year using them. I think the system's really cool. The thing I really like are these quick cubes. And then lastly, this is the rod locker. So I got a little bit of different stuff in there right now, but this thing can fit 1,000,000 rods. I like this little upper shelf here. I'll usually throw all my treble hook rods up on here. Then they don't get tangled in with everything else. It's pretty nice. You can fit 1,000,000 rods in here. I've had mine, Johnny's, Ashton's rods all fit in here and with room. This is our Vexus. I love this boat. I couldn't ask for a better boat. Very lucky with what we have. Do you guys have any questions about any of the electronics, any of the gear we have? I'm an open book. I'll fill you in on anything. You can leave a comment or you can just message me directly. We install all this stuff. I'm very familiar with all brands of electronics, and yeah, pretty cool boat. Thanks for hanging out with us.